Manchester United are being heavily linked with a move for Real Madrid Sergio Ramos. The last 12 to 24 hours, it seems to have got more serious of Manchester United's interest in Ramos, and the fact that the talk in a lot of the press, in the papers, seems to be that Ramos is a bit unhappy at Real Madrid. This comes to me as a shock. I think this has really come out of the blue. I never really saw this transfer talk materialising. I did see it about a week ago where there was a bit of talk where Ramos could leave Real Madrid for Manchester United, and I think Chelsea were also rumoured to be lurking around. But I really think that Sergio Ramos would be a great addition to any Premier League club. He's played so many games, I think over 400 games for Real Madrid over a 10-year span. He's won the Champions League, won the Spanish League, he's won the World Cup, he's won everything a player can possibly win. He's played about 127, I think, his games for Spain, and he's still only 29 years of age, so he's still got 2 or 3 years, good years probably still in him. And personally, I think if Manchester United could pull this transfer off, it would be a fantastic transfer. I know some people are knocking it because he's 29, but 29 isn't that old. I mean, you look at the likes of John Terry, who had a fantastic season this season just gone, probably the best defender in the Premier League, and he's about 34. So I feel that he could still do it for at least another 2 or 3 years. And you don't play for Real Madrid for a decade if you're not a really world-class player. Now, he's a leader, would be absolutely perfect to go into that central defensive position. He also did play some right-back in his earlier days, so he could step in there if we do not sign another right-back, which I'm still not sure who we're actually going to sign at right-back, because the rumours seem to have gone a bit down on Klein lately, and Coleman doesn't seem to really be materialising, so he could slot in there. Now, a lot of the reports, I think it's the Daily Mail's reporting that there could possibly be a swap deal for David De Gea. Now, it's pretty obvious that David De Gea is going to leave Manchester United, so I think if we've really got to get another player from Real Madrid. The talk a couple of weeks ago was Karim Benzema. Now, it seems to have died off a bit. It seems that Benzema doesn't really want to play for Manchester United. And I do not want players that do not want to come and play for Manchester United. There's still obviously question marks over whether Di Maria really wants to be here. And I don't want a scenario where Benzema's not bothered. He's not given 110% for Manchester United. So if we can pull this swap deal, I mean, we'd probably have to give around 15-20 million because he has a real huge buyout clause. And although we're going to lose David De Gea for a little amount of money, we've got to be looking to get a player in replacement. I mean, reports in the last 24 hours have been of 13 million for David De Gea. Now, he's worth so much more than that. I mean, if we sold him for 30 million, he'd probably be worth that to Real Madrid, because I think he's still only 24, and he could play in their first team for the next 10 years. And if he plays like he did last season, he will save them a shit ton of points. So he would be easily worth that, and they're not going to be paying him probably paying him half the wages that Manchester United have offered him. So I think that we've really got to be looking to do this deal, because there's not a lot of other players that we could take off Real Madrid that really realistically are going to come to Manchester United. I mean, we're not going to get Gareth Bale now. I think it's obvious that he's going to stay for one more season. If he doesn't perform his best again this season, then yes, I do think Gareth Bale will be off next season. But we're not going to get Ronaldo either. He's never going to come back to Manchester United. Manchester United fans that think he will, I'm sorry, but I know you'd love him to come back, but he's not going to come back. So the obvious one would definitely be this Ramos deal. It seems what the papers are saying, that he's unhappy over negotiations with his contract. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He's got a huge buyout clause, but if they really want Big Dave, then they're really going to have to consider this swap deal, and I think it will be probably best for all parties. Although I still think that we could do with another centre half. Otamendi has still been heavily linked, and it looks quite highly likely that Manchester United will be signing him after the Copa America is finished. If we could get both them two in, I'd be absolutely delighted, because I'm still not 100% sure that Chris Smalling is the man to take Manchester United forward in them huge big Champions League games that we could possibly have next season, and some huge Premier League games. I think I'm still not totally convinced. He's played a lot better, but I'm still not totally convinced, and he does still get injured a lot. And Johnny Evans has obviously got to go, and that leaves Phil Jones. I'm not convinced with Phil Jones. So and obviously Marcus Rojo still. I think he's a quality player, Marcus Rojo, but still there's still a bit of question marks over him, and he can fill in at left back and other places as well. So I think two good solid centre backs. If we could get Otamendi and Sergio Ramos, I would be absolutely over the moon. I would definitely like to hear your thoughts on this Sergio Ramos transfer, whether you think it's going to happen. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen, but I would definitely be delighted if we could get him. Very experienced man, be the oldest man in our defence, and we really need some leaders in there. Since we've let Patrice Evra go, Vidic and Ferdinand, we've really lost that leader at the back that we're really craving, because the likes of Luke Shaw is only young. Valencia shouldn't be playing at right back. So, and the other ones, Chris Smalling's, I think, is the oldest out of them at 25, unless maybe Johnny Evans is, but Johnny Evans is absolute dog shit. So, hopefully he'll be gone in the next couple of weeks, and we're be looking to get a couple of signings in. Please do let me know in the comment section box below what you think of Sergio Ramos coming to Manchester United. Do you think it's going to happen? Do you think it'll be a great signing? Personally, I do. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. Please make sure to give the video a like, because it really helps the channel grow. And I will talk to you all again very, very soon. See ya.